All right, what's up, guys? I'm here with Tripp. Tripp is a member of Coherent Creators. He's been doing amazing. He's been at day one since it started in January 2026. And Tripp's been absolutely crushing. He started a new account when he joined the program. He's at 8,500 followers now. That's in 6 months, which is incredible. He's accumulated in the last 90 days 4.8 million views, and he started to sign clients at a much more consistent rate. He's got multiple people in at one-off sessions for about 300, and then he started to sign more clients monthly, and then he's even got two clients at high ticket prices around 1,500 a month, which is insane, especially in the niche you're in with fitness and like functional movement. A lot of people really struggle to sell packages for over $1,000 a month. So I'm super, super proud of you, Trip. I'd love to hear, how has Coherent Creators changed your business, and how has it allowed you to achieve the results that you've got?
Yeah, so I didn't even have a business before Coherent Creators. I think you and Nick Sweeney and Jack kind of hold this container where you have the space to really go all in on this thing. And it's really tough kind of building out a personal brand. And when you don't see any results in the beginning, like you usually don't with these things. You usually want to throw in the towel, but kind of having this network and this framework of like guys who have done it, guys that are successful in it, guys that have built out, these really thorough modules on what I need to do to keep progressing and to generate the views and the followers and the traction to be able to get the business off the ground. I mean, it's essential, and it really honestly keeps you going when most people would quit. So just the framework and the coaches themselves are really game changers when it comes to wanting to build your own brand or scale something that exists that you haven't been able to do really well. And like I said before, like it allowed me to just create something that wasn't even there before, and kind of grow it to something that is really generating some income, doing something that I find really interesting and that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. I think one of the things I really love about your progress is it's very unique to you. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on with our clients, is that it's not just like cookie cutter, um, follow what everybody else is doing and just blindly copy hacks or marketing trends. There's a lot of people who are making content that is really unique to their authentic voice, to their expression, to their interests. And I'm curious, like, if you've ever tried other programs, like what sets Coherent Creators apart in that way?
Yeah, I think you, Nicholas, and Nick Sweeney kind of hit this 1-2 punch that's so unique. Whereas like Nick Sweeney can really attest to this vibe side, right? And this kind of the energy behind it, kind of this spiritual concept of creating something and building something. And then you can kind of come in and compliment him with this really systemized approach, um, full of like, backed up data and, all of the knowledge you've acquired, where it's kind of like this very type A personality approach to it,
Hmm.
to complement Nick's type B. And then
Hmm.
you also both have your kind of unique mechanisms, your unique personalities, and your own branding, to where you've been able to really stand out and kind of make you and your face your own brand. So like coming from that background with the type A, and then coming from Nick's background with the type B, you kind of get this really full encompassing guidance that is, having someone be able to stay authentic with their work and scale it to whatever they want it to become.
Yeah, I love that, man. Were there any specific lessons or insights or gems that stuck with you in the modules or in any of our calls?
Um, yeah, for sure. I think the kind of just the way that y'all approached building out the brand Bible in the first place, kind of having this whole brain dump where you get all of your thoughts into one place and then kind of systemize it from there, was just so powerful. I feel like probably the hardest part of this stuff is just getting started and like just having an idea of what you want it to look like. I think also your modules on building the offer would be the second hardest part of like, what am I going to sell these people? What I want this
Hmm.
to look like? And being able to have kind of this structured approach, these low tier, mid tier, high tier, and then the content funnel as well. It made it very digestible. Where I'm like, hey, this is exactly what I'm posting. This is
Hmm.
the number of people that I'm going to attract from that, And then I have to kind of get them down into this funnel. So then I can kind of shift them into whatever tier I'm trying to get this caliber of customer to. So those are kind of these these approaches that I never heard of, these systems that I had never heard of, but kind of made the whole process much more efficient and gave me a lot more confidence that I can get it done and create it. So
I love it,
that
man.
was really cool to see.
Part of what makes the program special, in my opinion, is having people like yourself in the community. Like I feel really proud of the quality of people we have in the community and how engaged they are. And I'm curious to hear about your experience being in that from a client standpoint, as to me looking at it from a coach standpoint.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. There's so many of those guys have become such good friends now that I talk to on a regular basis, and that
Mhm.
I'm gonna end up building stuff with too. So like
Yeah.
that's something else that like is par none. It's like you have creators that are collaborating and like
Hmm.
building stuff and building out systems together, which is like unheard of. I don't know anywhere else where that's happening. Um, Fred Vine is in this kind of structural health uh space. Shout out Fred, but like he's got such a great mind, and like just kind of our conversation and collaborations, like we're gonna end up building something out together that's gonna be able
Love that.
to reach a lot more people and help a lot more people than if we would have just kind of done this thing on our own or just started posting content on our own. So that's a super powerful aspect of Coherent Creators.
Yeah, man. I think that's amazing. I know you are really big on work in the DMs, and part of any business is like generating leads. If you don't have leads, if you don't have people to buy your stuff, you don't have a business. And so I'd love for you to walk me through like the before and after of you're in the program, you're trying to figure it out, you're starting to post content, and then like boom, things start taking off. What was that like in terms of having more conversations with people and how receptive people were to you in the DM setting process?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of power in kind of giving away everything for free. And you and Nick talked about that early on, where it's like I'm not trying to gatekeep anything I know. Everything I post, I'm trying to provide as much value as possible, and share all my knowledge with the world. I'm not putting it behind a paywall. What you get is what you get. And I ended up, starting a lot of conversations in the DMs from that, where I had people reaching out and they were like, "Wow, this is really interesting. Like, I've never thought about this. Your perspectives are so niche. They're kind of eye opening." And conversations would flow from there, and we kind of discuss their problems and what they've been
Hmm.
dealing with. And I'm like, "Oh well, you know, I think I know exactly what you're dealing with. I think I know exactly where the root cause of whatever your pain problem is, and I think I could help you. Like, let's hop on a call, talk a little bit more."
Hmm.
So kind of just flowed naturally, just from the advice y'all had given when structuring your content beforehand.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I love that, and it's so interesting to like when the content is good and when the content is consistent and it's shifting people's beliefs and showing them things that they've never seen before. The level of conversations you have is just so much higher. People look to you as the natural solution for their problems instead of just some guy. You know what I mean? Some dude who's just like posting content or like selling a product. So I'm super happy to hear that. That's amazing. If you were talking to somebody who was on the fence about joining Coherent Creators and they were looking for some insights, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would tell them absolutely jump in. You don't know what you don't know. Uh, you're not going to take financial advice from somebody who's broke. You're not going to take fitness advice from someone who's overweight and unhealthy. You're going to take creator advice. Why don't you take it from creators like Nick, who's grown a massive brand, like you, who's making a very comfortable living, doing the
Hmm.
social media thing, doing the coaching thing. Like it's kind of a no brainer. And then on top of that, you don't want to have to interact with people you don't enjoy being around. But luckily, the guys in Coherence, the people in Coherence are very authentic, very elaborate personalities that you enjoy interacting with and being around. So I can't think of a space that would benefit you more than Coherent Creators in that aspect.
Well, good, man. I love it. Well, Tripp, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. If you're watching this video and you want more information, you can message me on Instagram at Bueno No Bueno. You can message Nick at Based Ethos. If you're on the landing page, there's a bunch of information here for you to sink your teeth into in terms of what you're getting. But regardless, I look forward to chatting with you or seeing you inside the program. Peace out.